Hello, my name is Avery Taylor. Team of the month is back, and we're going to be talking about the best players from the month of June at every single position. Also include 5 pitchers, 3 relievers. It's going to be fun. Hope you guys enjoy it, and let's go ahead and get into it. For the third straight month in a row, Cal Raleigh is the best catcher of the month. Across the 26 games, he had 11 homers, 27 RBIs, walking over 13% of the time, and had an OPS above 1,000. 195 WRC plus, and is still playing pretty good defense all things considered, and accumulated 1.9 F4 across the month. I will say Hunter Goodman did give him a good run for his money on the offensive side, but I think whenever you bring in the defensive side, it's not a contest. At first base, it is heavily contested. There are 5 players that posted a WRC plus above 150. There's Matt Olson. Wilson Contreras is also having a good month. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Michael Busch, Pete Alonso, Jonathan Aranda is still sticking around. There's a lot of great names, but at the end of the day, I gave it to Matt Olson, who had the highest F4 of all of them at 1.2. Only had 3 homers, but had 21 RBIs, was walking over 16% of the time. He had a 313 average, 427 on base, 510 slugging for an OPS at 937. He just was incredible. He's back to being Matt Olson. The homers aren't necessarily as high as you would expect with the name, but he still had a very good month, all things considered. At second base, it's Ketel Marte clearing away. Across the month, he had 9 homers, 24 RBIs, a 330 batting average, 650 slugging, giving him an OPS above 1,000, 189 WRC plus, had a 1.6 F4 across the month. Yeah, there was others like Simeon, Lau, Chisholm, they all had good months, but Ketel Marte is just playing at a different level since he's came back from injury. At third base, there's really 2 players you could go with. You could go with Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who had 11 homers and 27 RBIs, or you could give it to Max Muncy, who's just been on fire ever since he found the glasses, and he is going to get the best third baseman of the month award from me. 7 homers, 24 RBIs, 22 runs, walking nearly 20% of the time, has an OPS above 1,100, a 206 WRC plus. He's just been incredible. No slight to Eugenio Suarez, who had a great month as well, but Max Muncy is going to get the award here today. At shortstop, it's Elly De La Cruz, and there's no real competition. Across the whole month, he had 7 homers, 17 RBIs, was walking over 12% of the time, has really cut down on the strikeouts, down to 18% last month. He had an OPS, again, over 1,000, 190 WRC plus. He had 1.7 F4 across the entire month. He also adds that value on the base paths as well. He just was a complete package in the month of June. Your closest competitor would probably be like a Trey Turner, a Jeremy Pena, but Elly De La Cruz was the clear and away favorite in the month of June. In the outfield, we really had 3 people separate themselves from the rest of the pack. The first one was Byron Buxton, who collected 9 homers, 21 RBIs, 6 stolen bases in there as well, walking over 13% of the time while striking out under 17, has a OPS well above 1,000, 198 WRC plus, had 1.8 F4 across the entire month, still plays decent defense out there in center. He just looks like the complete package for the Minnesota Twins. The highest home run total of the 3 outfielders came from Juan Soto, who posted 11 homers, 20 RBIs, had walked over 21% of the time while striking out under 18%. He also had an OPS well above 1,100, WRC plus at 227. His defense, it's atrocious, but we're not talking about defense whenever we're talking about Juan Soto. And then the final outfield spot goes to Ronald Acuna Jr., who has just been on fire since he came back from injury. Last month had the OPS well above 1,000, had a 202 WRC plus, has great offensive numbers leading him to a 1.6 F4, had 6 homers, 12 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, walking over 20% of the time. He just is, again, the complete package. Defensively, again, we're not talking about defense with some of these guys, but offensively, he's just been mashing. At DH, it's weird to say anybody can outduel Shohei Ohtani across any given month, but that's where we stand with Yandy Diaz posting 400 average across 25 games with a 469 on base, 610 slugging, a 208 WRC plus, and 1.6 F4 mostly from the designated hitter position. He also had 5 homers, 13 ribbies. He struck out only 12% of the time. He was just incredible across the month of June, and he's absolutely deserving of the DH spot. To kick off the starting pitching, we have Zach Wheeler of the Philadelphia Phillies, who across the month of June logged 31 innings pitched, had 5 starts, had a 2-1 record, but was striking out over 12 batters per 9 innings, keeping the walks around 2, was getting excellent results with a 0.58 ERA, 1.57 FIP, and logged 1.4 F4 across the month. He looked incredible. Like, what can we say? I was a little scared he wouldn't get the innings necessary to get onto this list, but he got him there right at the end, and he absolutely deserves to be here. The second starting pitcher is his teammate Ranger Suarez, who across the month of June logged a league-leading 41.2 innings of work. He had a 1.3 ERA across that time, which was 4th best in all of Major League Baseball. His xFIP don't necessarily love him in that same way because he only had 7.78 strikeouts per 9 innings. He keeps the walks down at 1.5, and of course he gets a lot of ground balls, and he led that to a lot of success, accumulating 1.1 F4 across the month. Moving to Texas, we have Jacob deGrom being the 3rd starter of today's list. He's had an absolute renaissance so far this year, staying healthy, and we saw that in June with 32 innings of work, 1.41 ERA, which is 5th best in all of baseball, had the 2nd best FIP at 1.74, 3.03 xFIP, 1.4 F4, which was tied for the best in baseball, and that's because he has an elite strikeout to walk ratio, struck out 9 batters for 9 innings, walking at 1.6, didn't allow a homer across the entire month. He was incredible. And that's what we expect from Jacob deGrom whenever he's healthy, and he put together a healthy month. Staying in Texas, this time moving to Houston, we have Hunter Brown of the Houston Astros, who made 5 starts, had 30.1 innings of work, had a 1.19 ERA, which was 2nd best in the major leagues among qualified pitchers. He had a good FIP, good xFIP. It's largely in part because he strikes out a ton of batters at 11.5, and he walks a relatively low number at 3.56. And he also gets a ton of ground balls at a 52% clip. He just has that elite combo of you don't let people get contact, and when they do, they're putting it on the ground, and that's going to give him another slot on this list. And then the final starting pitcher is Garrett Crochet of the Boston Red Sox. Now, his ERA isn't the most impressive. It was at 2.68, which is a really good ERA, but across the course of a month, some people were able to outduel him in that regard. What Crochet does incredibly well is he strikes out a ton of batters while not walking very many. 12.27 Ks per 9 innings with a 1.79 walk per 9 innings. He is just phenomenal. He gets a ton of contact onto the ground as well. His ERA is ballooned a little bit from playing in Boston, and you see that in the xFIP, 2.19. The FIP's at 2.25. That xFIP number is the best in all of baseball among qualified pitchers. 1.4 F4. He pitched 40 innings across the month of June. There's just everything about Garrett Crochet has been phenomenal, and he lands on this list finally. For relief pitching, it's very subjective as to what you are looking for. Aroldis Chapman has to be on everyone's list because last month he posted 11 innings of 0 earned run average baseball. He notched 6 saves and struck out over 15.5 batters per 9 innings. What he did in June, better than probably any stretch of his career, was not walk very many people. He only walked 1.64 batters per 9 innings. He was getting a good amount of baseballs on the ground, and he had a FIP of 0.18 across the month. That is absurd, and I'm going to give him the award for one of the reliever spots. The second reliever of the list is Braden Fisher of the Toronto Blue Jays, who had 13.1 innings of work across the month, and he didn't allow a single run. Had a 0.91 FIP, 2.56 xFIP. He was just incredible across the entire month. There's not really much to say other than the Toronto Blue Jays just keep finding bullpen pieces who are just performing extraordinarily well, and Fisher is the most recent example. And then I'm wearing the Baltimore Orioles hat, but I am a Pittsburgh Pirates fan deep down, and I have to give the final spot to David Bednar, who had only 10 innings of work, but was able to notch 5 saves in that time, and he had a 0 ERA. He didn't allow a run across the entire month, but somehow got a loss. He pitched in extras, it happens, but at a 0.79 FIP, 1.37 xFIP, he was just locked down for the Pirates. It's great to see him back in form. He had a 14.4 K per 9 rate. He only walked 2.7 batters per 9 innings. He looks all the way back and looks primed to be a trade chip for the Pirates at the deadline. And that's going to do it for my team of the month, the best player at every position. Let me know where you guys think I got it right, where I got it wrong. Who are your players that you thought outperformed some of the players I talked about? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day.